Now, a source close to Gigaba's investigation has confirmed that Norma Gigaba is the subject of an investigation into a conspiracy to commit murder. It's alleged that she participated in a plot to kill her husband, the former Minister Malusi Gigaba. Norma is set to appear in court on Monday on charges of assault, criminal injuria and malicious damage to property. This follows her arrest linked to the destruction of a Mercedes-Benz G-Wagon, which is owned by a friend of Gigaba, Peterson Siaya. Our reporter Barry Bateman is following the story. Now let's cross over to him for the latest update. Barry, a very good afternoon to you. On Friday, we were talking about Norma Gigaba having assaulted her husband. On Sunday, we are looking at her possibly involved in a plot to murder her husband. How did we go from essentially 0 to 100?
Yeah, that's quite an escalation in the seriousness of the charges here, Morena. But what we understand, and let's just go back those few days when it emerged that the Hawks had executed a warrant of arrest, and the Hawks were involved in this case. Well, everyone was questioning, well, why are the Hawks involved in what appears to be crimes emanating from a marital dispute? Why are they investigating malicious damage to property and assault and the like? Well, now we understand. We have a better picture of why this is the case. We understand that threats to the life of Malusi Gigaba go back as far as May. And it was at this point that the Hawks started an investigation of conspiracy to commit murder. And we understand that Norma Gigaba is the subject of this investigation. It then follows that when these cases were opened earlier this week related to the damage to that Mercedes-Benz and alleged assault of Malusi Gigaba, that the Hawks then already having a case open that was the subject of an investigation, they then moved on this particular matter. The Hawks will not confirm that they are investigating this particular case. What they do say, however, is that these dockets related to the malicious damage to property as well as the assault will be handed over to SAPS, normal detectives, after the appearance in court tomorrow.
Barry, do we know who else is involved in this? Because I would imagine she will be seen as the brains behind this plot to kill her husband, but do we know who else is involved in this?
No, not at this stage, Morena, but you're quite right. Usually in a case like this here, the person who is plotting the murder try to keep as much distance away from the trigger man as possible. We don't know who those individuals are, but certainly the Hawks, I've seen several reports, the Hawks saying, would go as far as saying, yes, there are other investigations and we will reveal more at a later stage. But the actual details of this, we don't have at this stage.
Barry, there's a lot that's been said about the marital issues in the Gigaba household. Infidelity, of course, being one of the things that is most prominent and prevalent in these discussions. But do we know then what exactly is the situation? Why do Malusi and his wife find themselves in this particular situation where now Malusi's wife is said to be trying to kill him?
Yeah, it's quite a tragic affair. I think, when anybody's personal details related to their marriage are, exposed in the public like this year. But we have high-profile people. We've got a former minister and a member of parliament who has had previous instances of public infidelity. And we do understand, while it's not been confirmed, that what might have led to these recent cases is the result of further infidelity. Of course, this is not confirmed, and it's probably unlikely to be publicly discussed. But that, if you look at the history of the troubles that this couple has had, and that has been exposed publicly, it suggests that it's more of the same.
Norma Gigaba was arrested on Friday. Barry, do we know if she was in the company of her husband leading up to her arrest? What is the security situation where the former minister is concerned?
I don't know what the status is regarding where she was when she was arrested. However, we do know that she spent a night in the Brooklyn police station holding cells. Her attorney, Victor Nkwashi, confirming yesterday that he managed to secure 5,000 rand bail for her. So she was released yesterday from the holding cells, but she's supposed to appear in court tomorrow, where the charges will be formally put to her and the matter enrolled on the court roll. On the status of Malusi Gigaba, I have seen one report saying that he will he will support his wife during this difficult time, I think, at the way it was described. So, the suggestion there is that she might be going through difficulties of her own, but, he will be there to support her. There's no indication that they are in proximity to each other or under the same roof at this stage, but it would seem highly unlikely given the attention that has been brought about by these charges being laid and Norma being arrested.
Thank you very much. Barry Bateman, our reporter in our Pretoria studios, just, of course, unpacking the plot that is seemingly thickening in the Gigaba household, where the wife of former Minister Malusi Gigaba is now said to be involved in a plot to kill her husband. Of course, she is in court on Monday, that's tomorrow, where she's going to be facing charges of criminal injury, assault, and malicious damage to property, having been arrested on Friday. She is out on bail now, so she is most likely back at home.